This is social studies, and this week we're going to be talking about supply and demand as it relates to tourism. We're going to do a little bit more with water supply and snowpack so that you understand one of our big industries here in the state of Utah. As always, this next slide is an overview of things that you will be able to do at the end of this slide. So you should be able to analyze graphs and data, describe Utah's snow supply, and investigate how Utah's snow supply shapes the tourism economy. So we are going to start off by, as this slide talks a little bit about water supply. It talks about in Utah, we get a lot of our water, if not most of our water we get from snow. So if there's a low snowpack, then Utah will experience a drought. So a drought is a period of dry weather where an area doesn't get the needed rain or snow, and that can be dangerous because plants and animals and humans can die if they don't get enough water. So the first thing that you're going to do, and hopefully you'll be in present mode, and you're going to watch this video here about droughts. On the next page, we have a map and a graphic here that you can look at. So this is about Utah's water supply, and scientists can predict a drought by monitoring Utah's snowpack. So to avoid drought, scientists like to see 100% snowpack by the end of winter. So as you're looking at this particular map here, you're going to look at, you'll see the map, you'll see the colors in the state. And then over here at the side, they're talking about, well, the snow water equivalent, the percent that they like to see. And they like to see 90 to 100% snowpack. So our snowpack, as you look at this map, but they like to see it green. And so you need to look at the map and think, oh, do we have any green? Do we have more? Do we have lots of blue? Or do we have more in the oranges and yellows? So the question that you're going to ask yourself as you look at this is, does Utah have water scarcity or a water surplus? And is Utah at risk for drought? That's something that is actually an interesting question, and you might want to do some research on that and look up, well, what is our snowpack at right now? You could certainly try and Google that. That would be interesting information for you to have. The next thing you're going to talk about right here is Utah's water supply. So since Utah is so dependent on snowfall, the reason they are is that when that snow melts, or that snowpack, in the spring, it fills the reservoirs, and these are man-made lakes that Utah has a lot of, and it also fills the rivers so that people in Utah have water. So when you look at this map, there are a number of reservoirs, probably more than other places, certainly. So what does that number of reservoirs tell you about Utah's demand for water? If we have all these reservoirs, does that mean we have a high demand or a low demand for water? So the next slide talks about the tourism industry in Utah. So in 2019, tourism brought $10 billion into Utah. That's a lot of money. So in the last slide, we talked about how Utah's water supply is dependent on snowfall. Also, the ski industry and the tourism it attracts is also dependent on snowfall, because obviously if we don't have snow, people aren't going to want to come here and ski. So every year there's a high demand for snow so that we can attract skiers and snowboarders from all over the world. And those skiers and snowboarders stay in our hotels, they eat in our restaurants, they buy things from our stores, so they put a lot of money into the Utah economy. So your assignment now is Utah, as you may have seen on some of our license plates even, they have a little logo and it's the greatest snow on earth. So your job right now is to write a paragraph describing how the high or the low supply of snow affects the tourism economy in Utah. So identify the consumers. So the consumers are the people who come. Those are the skiers and the snowboarders. Those are the people who use the snow and use the ski resorts. The producers are the people who own those resorts. So the producers would be the owners of the resorts, and those that bring those consumers or the people coming to ski here to Utah. So if you want to earn a 4 on this assessment after you type your paragraph, then you can create a slide. And the way that you create a slide is you go up into the corner and there's a little plus sign, And you can add a slide after this one. And on this, you can put in what you want. You can create a slide advertising the greatest snow on earth. So you can add pictures, tell people why would you want to come here to Utah, and you create basically a poster or a slide advertising Utah snow. And on this last page, here's your rubric for that if you do that assignment. So actually not if, you need to do that assignment. So your level 4, you include at least 3 reasons explaining why should you come to Utah. So think about what you've just been reading about. Why would people want to come here? Include 3 or more graphics or pictures. And you need to identify your producers or the businesses that tourists can be a consumer of. So remember, those businesses would be things like our ski resorts. You can come shop here. We have great restaurants. So you're going to say these are some of the things you would want to come for. Level 3, you have 3 knowledgeable reasons why people should travel to Utah, and you have graphics, but you don't say anything about who are the producers and who are the consumers. Level 2, you're missing some things, but you have simple reasons why you should come to Utah. And level 1, you really haven't, you need additional support in order to accomplish what you're wanting to accomplish with the slide thing. All right, so good luck with that. I can't wait to see your work.